Welcome back to Scale Auto Guys Workbench. Today we're working on this Monogram 1979 Pontiac Firebird. This kit is very rudimentary. It's, I think, just a step above a snap together. It's nothing, well, yeah, it's not comparable to the previous Firebird that I've done on the channel. It's only can be built in one form, and that's the Street Machine form. It doesn't give you options for a stock build, and let me show you why I say that. It's hard to see it on the box art, but on the body you can see that it has the wide body modifications done to it, so it can only be done as the Street Machine. And it's got some rough edges that need to be knocked down, but it's not bad. There's not a whole bunch of flash on it. Actually, there's like no flash on it. So it's a pretty crisp, clean mold. It just has a little bit of a mold separation line right there on each side that needs to be knocked down, smoothed out. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. Next up is your seats, exhaust system, and your drive shaft. Again, they only give you the side pipe option, the lake pipe option. And this tree is your interior tub, the lake pipes, your engine halves, which I don't know. There's only a few parts trees on this thing, so there you are. The only option for a hood is this one with this giant scoop on it. The only option is the high-rise intake for the engine, and that's right here. And it only gives you one set of wheels. Now, you've noticed there's no chrome parts on this build, so there's no chrome tree either. Here's that one piece intake and cylinder head setup. I'm not sure how you would, well, oh no, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. In order to use the high-rise intake, you have to use these, but with that style of hood, you can't very well not have those sticking out of the top, and so using the stock intake manifold would look a little silly. Now that's it for your parts trees. Next up is your glass. It's tinted, which makes it kind of nice. You only have one option for tires, and that's these Racemaster slicks. They're pretty solid. They are, on one side they're plain, and the other one, the very light printing of the Racemaster 500s. And plastic front wheels, or excuse me, front tires. These are Goodyears, and yeah, you got to glue those together. I've always found problems gluing these together. They sometimes don't like to be, glued together and stay together. Next up is your decal sheet. Very basic. Not a whole lot to it. Gives you one license plate option. And the last thing is the assembly instructions. Here it shows only the high-rise intake option. It doesn't show the stock intake option. So this obviously was a different kit. They just added a few things and threw it in the Street Machine box. It was more than likely just a stock Firebird at one point in time, and they made a few changes and produced this particular kit. So there you are. It's pretty basic, simple. It should be a quick build. Hardest part, as usual, choosing the color. I don't like that yellow paint for the box art. I think that looks kind of crappy. So we're going to do something different. I'm not sure what quite yet, but we'll come up with something. There's very few sub-assemblies to do, so let's get those out of the way and get over to the paint booth and start throwing some primer. So I'll see you in a little bit. Oh, by the way, the creaking noises, that's my chair, if you've ever wondered. All right, let's get started on this.
One eternity later. The next day.
All right, fellas, we just got back out of that paint booth. The body is looking fantastic. Let's get on to building. I have managed to get the engine completed. It's looking pretty good. That color that I've used for the engine, that's the closest I can find to a Pontiac engine color. So that's what I use for my Pontiac engines. It's called Caribbean by Apple Barrel. It's pretty close to the Pontiac engine color. I think the Pontiac engine color is just a little bit, I don't know, I think it's got a little bit of a greenish hue from that blue. I'm not 100% certain. It's a little bit different. I don't know how to describe it, but I know it's close. So we're on to the chassis now while I'm letting that engine, the coatings on that engine dry, and I'm getting ready to install it. I did something interesting. This kit does not have a chrome tree, as you've already noticed at the intro, but I do have chrome. Well, let's see if I can get the camera to focus. I apologize, it's not focusing. I went with my chrome paint pen, and I did the valve covers on this, so they have a chrome appearance. I let those dry over the last 3 or 4 days in preparation for the assembly, and now I can handle them without worry about it tarnishing. So we can go ahead and get that installed into the chassis. I got the cross member all ready to go in, and I've cleaned the paint off of the front cross member. I did not do the engine though. Gosh. Well, we'll just have to, let me see if I can get that cleaned off of there real quick. Just a little bit so that I have some bare plastic. Okay, that should be good. You always want to make sure that you have bare plastic joints because the glue works better. It's designed to work plastic on plastic, not plastic on painted parts or on chrome parts. This is going to be a little tricky, I think, until I can get that cross member in place. I tried test fitting it with the cross member just kind of in place, and it didn't want to go together, so go ahead and get it put in place while I'm holding that engine with my finger. Now these do have an angled, the ends are angled, so this will only go in there one way, which makes it nice so you don't have to worry about did I get it in the right direction and what have you. Okay, that should hold the engine in place till the glue dries. I'm just pressing on the bottom there and make sure that that's fully seated. Okay, that's all set to go. We'll set that aside for now. Now it's on to the interior tub. I want to do something a little different with this interior tub, not just leave it like this. The instruction sheet, the direction sheet, whatever you want to call it, it calls for two-tone seats. Let me get to the front ones here. The outer sections of the seats are supposed to be, excuse me, they're supposed to be like a semi-gloss, and the inside is supposed to be like a matte. So I'm thinking, I've got matte paint right back here in the bottle. I'm wondering if I should go ahead and do, well, it says to do all of this facing surface here all the way down and through the bottom of the seat. Let me take a look at that, see if that's what I want to do, and then I'll be back. I might just leave it like this. I don't know. Seems like a lot of work to get a small effect that won't be easily seen. But you guys can do it the way you want. It's your build. So I know a lot of guys hate when us content creators say that. And I can understand it, but honestly, it is your build. You can do it whatever way you wish. And that's the truth of the matter. So let me think about this for a second, and I'll come up with something. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. I did go ahead and put a coating of the flat black paint just in the center sections of the seats. It does kind of accent it. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up, but it does give a little bit of an accent to the seating. Just a little contrast. Now, I could have gone maybe a two-tone color, maybe the exterior color on this, but I would have had to strip the seats and start it all over with a fresh coat of primer, and because that paint wouldn't have shown up very well over top of black paint. So I just went ahead and went with this, and it looks okay. I wouldn't say that it's the greatest thing, but it does look okay. While I was off camera, I went ahead and put the bare metal foil in the dashboard area, and then I took a black Sharpie and colored in the gauges. I think there's, I don't recall if there's a decal set for that, for the gauges or not, but I'm just going to leave it like that. I went ahead and used my chrome paint pen for the steering wheel. So we're almost set to do the interior tub, and next is like the exhaust system. Let me get this put together, and I'll be right back. All right, fellas, I got the interior completed. You know, that flat black does kind of set that off. It does give it a little bit of a different look. So it was a good idea. I'm glad I followed that one. You see the dash is installed. I'm not a big fan of that shifter, though. It was kind of crappy looking, in my opinion, and it was very hard to, very hard is the wrong term. To paint it properly was difficult because of its size. And according to the directions, there's supposed to be a pin on the bottom of it that goes through the hole in the bottom of the interior tub. Well, that didn't have a pin. It was just flat on the bottom. So I had to just kind of put it in over the hole. And, well, I don't know. I think it could have been done a little bit better. But there it is. Okay, next we're on to the suspension parts. I've already got the front suspension done. We still got to do the rear suspension and the exhaust system. It's actually, the next step is calling for the headers to be installed, and I have to do that. I'm a little bit reluctant to do it right now because these pipes have got to go on the side, and because of that, I'm not sure if I'm going to get them in the correct locations. I'm sure that these side pipes are one of the last items that gets installed. But if I don't have these headers and collectors in the right spot to begin with, those aren't going to install correctly. So I'm a little bit hesitant to do that right at this step. I know it's got to be done, but I'm not sure if I can do it after I get the body on the chassis. So it's kind of up in the air. I'm not sure which way I want to go with this. All right, let's get on with the rear suspension. And I've got to do the wheels and tires yet, so we'll do that next. All right, guys, I got the first tire done. I put them on my impact drill and sanded the tire surface. These are a little tricky. They don't just kind of fall into place. Once you put the outer wheel into the tire, the inner piece, that little disc, this little disc right here, you've got to push it down until it snaps into place. You see that little lip inside the wheel, or excuse me, inside the tire? Well, each of the wheel halves, that and the little disc, have got to fit together, and you got to kind of push them down in there. It's not easy, so I'm going to go ahead and show you. Let me set this aside here so I can have a little bit more room. That's for the front tires, and I'm assuming that those go together the same way. I don't know, because The front tires are made out of plastic, and you have to glue the halves together. And what I did is make sure I had the maximum amount of room to get it down inside that tire. I just kind of went around and knocked the edge down on this, because there is a little bit of a mold line on the edge of this little disc. I was a little surprised at how that thing went together until I looked at the instruction sheet, and it just, shows it being put together, but it doesn't tell you how it goes together. So I'm going to put this in, push it down until it snaps. You heard that snap. Flip it over. Now, for appearance sake, this side is smooth. This side, I don't know if you can see it, but it has the push pin marks for the mold. I'm going to put the smooth side out. So you think it just kind of fits there, but it doesn't. You have to push it down inside the tire until it snaps into place. Now, the other one actually snapped. This one just kind of oozed into place. But that's it for the mounting of the rims inside the back tires. Now, when I initially started this kit, I glued these wheel halves together, and I don't remember if I used the tube glue or if I used the Mod Podge glue. I'm thinking I used the Mod Podge, and it didn't work. I'm not going to be able to sand these because I don't have a socket to fit this, and it's kind of a shame because I would like to have that roughed up look, but I'll just go with what I got here. So this isn't like a polystyrene plastic like the rest of the kit is. It's kind of a, I don't know if that's like a vinyl. This is like the vinyl rubber. This is something in a world of its own. I don't know what the hell that is. But maybe what I can do is just kind of, wait a second. Oh. There we go. That's working. I just re-glued these back together, so the glue is not quite, excuse me, not quite set yet. So that's what you're seeing in the middle of the wheel, or middle of the tire. This is working, but it's not real effective. And I was afraid to sand on it too much anyway, because the tread pattern on here is very light. Switch ends. Now, let's see if these go together the same way. Okay, that just pushes down. Flip it over. It looks like it goes together the same way. So let me I wasn't going to film this part, but I thought I should, because I've had people leave comments for me that I cut off the camera right at the part where they needed the camera. So I decided, well, I'll go ahead and film this. It seems like it wants to pop back out of there. It's not going in as far as the other side did. Or the rear tires did, I should say. But that's all the further it's going to go. Okay, well, let's do the last one here and get on to the next step. It doesn't look that great. It figures. So you want to take your knife handle carefully. Nope. Am I going in the wrong direction? That other one just fit right in there. Let me try this instead. There we go. Make sure I got it all the way in there. Yeah, I got this kit at Ollie's, and I thought, well, you know, I just did a 79 Pontiac not too long ago, but I figured, well, this one looks, it's the same but different. This one's got that whale tail on the back of it, and the other one did not. So it is a little different. There we go. Now these don't have center caps because the axles have the locking pins. And sometimes those lock and sometimes those don't. And when they don't, I end up just having to glue the tires on. So let's give this a try. See how well it's going to lock in. Well, that wasn't very effective. I do want to put a little chrome on the tips so I don't have a black thing sticking out there through the center hole. A little black dot. I would rather have the chrome dot. Now this is going to be a little messy when it goes to put that wheel on. I probably will screw it up, but I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. Now these lift shackles in the back here, those would probably be optional. I don't know, with the racing slicks there, it probably isn't optional. Great. Yeah, see, this one's not locking in. May end up having to glue that one on. It's not. Yeah, that's crap. They could have designed that a little bit better. Why is that? Okay, hold on. I don't know what the heck's going on here. There we go. That looks better. Like that. Yeah, that's crap. I'm going to put a little dab of glue on there. I'll just glue this tire on. It's obvious that it's not going to stay. And if it doesn't roll, well, then it just doesn't roll. Alright, time to do the rear ones. Probably had the same situation. Sorry, you guys can't see what I'm doing here. There it goes. And a little bit of a wiggle. Yeah, I'm going to have to touch that up. I'm getting silver all over my fingertips. That's all right. There it goes. Yeah, I got tires. Let me go through and touch that up. I should have known better. That one doesn't look like it's all the way in. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. Now we're all set. Well, let's start working on that body. I got trim to do and glass and a little bit of detail painting. So I'll be right back. All right, fellas. I wanted to discuss. I'm doing the underhood stuff, and I'm going to leave it all painted like I have it right now. You can see I went in and kind of did the battery and the expansion tanks and all that stuff. I want to discuss on how this radiator goes in. Now, it took me a minute, okay, I'm looking at the direction sheet. It's not very clear. It shows it kind of going in here, but I'm like, okay, well, obviously that's too tall. It's not going to fit, but it goes right down like that. So, like I'm always preaching, you need to have bare plastic for adhesion. So I went in and I just kind of, with this in place, I took my number 11 and I kind of scratched out in the paint down here the outline of this, where this part goes. So I could come in here and clean the paint off where this is going to be glued down. Now, I also cleaned the bottom and the top. So when that's in place, this goes over top of it. Now this is like that little filler panel between the nose of the car and the radiator support wall. Well, it has two little attachment points here. Whoop, I'm going to move over. Here and down here. And also right here across this area and this area where it attaches to this wall. So that'll go in kind of like that. And then, of course, your nose cap will go on like that. And it kind of seals it up. So let me glue this in place. Also, you notice, and I do this sometimes, this was painted with flat black, that Krylon flat black. And in order to get the little sheen that I have going on there, you can see it's kind of shiny, I just kind of rubbed it. And just the oil off, of my skin and stuff like that, oil off my thumb and just the kind of buffing it, it gives it a little bit of a shine. So it'll give it that plastic look like you see under the hood of the car, the real car. So let me go ahead and get that glued in place. This one's going together really well so far. The only thing I've really had any trouble with is I forgot to show you guys. I'm sorry. Let me set this aside for just a second. I already showed you the interior, but this is the collectors and the side pipes. Now, the side pipes have these tabs and they have little notches in the chassis here. And that's where those attach. Getting these aligned up right in relation to the engine was kind of tricky, and I still don't have it quite right. If I'd move it up here, obviously it would move down here. So I'd move this to align to that, and then this would move. So it was a little tricky to get the headers aligned to the dumps here. And, well, that's the end result. So you see I got the wheels, tires, and the exhaust. The chassis is all set to go. And, of course, the interior just pops onto it. All right, let's get this radiator support wall glued in. I still have to do the trim around the windows. And typically I would do that with the black chrome bare metal foil. I think I'm just going to use a Sharpie on this one. I'm not a big fan of using the Sharpie, but it will get me the same result in half the time. So let's go ahead and get this done. So I'm just going to put this a little bit. All of a sudden I feel like Bob Ross. If you don't know who that is, Google it. This happy little part. Okay, anyway, enough of the tomfoolery. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. I did the tabs on the support wall, but I didn't do these. All right. Oh, you know what? I should have done this before. Oh, air bubble. And then I'm just going to put a little dot of glue right there. All right, that's done. It looks pretty good. I also took a Sharpie and went around all of the hoses and wire lines and stuff like that on the fender wells, and painted these back here. For these, they look like they were painted, but all I did is scrape the overspray from when I painted the body and exposed the white plastic, and then I took a Sharpie and just did the caps. And that looks pretty natural, pretty much the way it should. Yeah, wish me luck. It's funny, I have a steadier hands when I wielding the blade than I do with a Sharpie. Maybe it's because I'm nervous about the Sharpie, I don't know. Leave a comment below if you use a Sharpie for doing your detail trim like this. And let me know, have you ever used the black chrome bare metal foil? And if you do you like that better? I kind of like it, but I kind of don't at the same time, because it's painted black. It's not, so it's not black foil. It's regular chrome foil that has a black coating on it. And because of that, from time to time, while I'm applying it, the coating will come off, and you'll see the chrome of the aluminum foil through it. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's nice to have a different color to work with. But Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I thought it was going to look like nasty. I just had a miniature heart attack here. I saw right in this area. A hare. We have we've had her about a year now. It's a new dog in the house. And she was supposed to be a replacement for our chocolate lab service dog when the chocolate lab gets to be old enough to retire from being a service dog. And this puppy was supposed to be a yellow lab mix. Well, it turns out she's not a yellow lab mix. She is what they call a Basenji mix. She's got yellow lab in her, you can see that, but she is a Basenji. So she's about 30 pounds, and she is very high energy. She's a very lovable dog, but she sheds. Let's put it this way. When she shakes, it's like candy at a parade. The fur just flies. And that's what was on the roof of the car just now. She was just in here a little while ago and paid me a visit. And she smiles. When she first started smiling at us, we thought she was being aggressive, showing her teeth. But there was no growl or any other signs that she was being aggressive other than showing her teeth. So we were like, what is she doing? And we started noticing that, like, first thing in the morning when you wake up and she notices that you're awake, she does that. And it's all happy stuff. It's not aggressive stuff. So she's a cute little dog, but she isn't, oh, crap. Oh, crap. Well, see, that's why I don't like doing this. All right, a little alcohol will take care of that. Anyway, like I was saying, she's a great little dog. And German Shepherds have got nothing on her as far as the ability to shred a toy. She loves to chew. Fortunately, it's nothing really of value that she chews up. She somehow is able to manifest paper out of thin air. There won't be a Kleenex or a paper towel in sight. She manages to produce one and then shred it. So if I had to have an argument or a gripe about that dog, that's the only thing I would have to say about her. That's how she just loves to chew up paper products. Okay. Other than my little oops right there, that looks pretty good. Get a little. I have alcohol on the bench here. Get a cotton ball or, Q-tip that isn't all flared out. There we go. I hope this doesn't affect the finish on the paint. That's another thing I got to consider. And just like that, it did affect the finish. Doggone it. That's all right. I can just dab a little clear coat on there. We're good. No panics. All right. Let me get the rest of this put together. Get the glass put in there. Oh, I forgot to do around top of the doors. I'll do that. And fix that little oops. And I'll see you at the final. Welcome to the final on this 1979 Pontiac Firebird Street Machine by Monogram. Let me begin by saying that this kit looked promising at the start, but in its final form I am a little bit disappointed. Maybe if it had been a stock Firebird or even a Trans Am it would have been a bit nicer, but the final fit and finish comes up a little bit short. That tunnel ram intake, although it fit through the opening on the top of the hood without any adjustments, it looks a little bit odd with this car. I think it's just a little bit, I don't know, a little bit too tall. Now the tires overall look a bit odd as well. The rears are a bit too big and they rub on the body. The fronts are a bit too small and wide and look kind of weird. The front and rear bumper panels fit okay-ish, and the hood is a bit too short for its opening. The gap at the front of the hood doesn't show up until the final assembly, and it's difficult to test fit it until after it's all put together. When I put the front bumper assembly on, I thought that the gap was being caused by some obstruction under or behind it. But as you can see, the seams are tight, indicating that it is fully seated. So now that I've beat on this kit for a minute, let's talk about some of the good things. Overall, the body dimensions are pretty good, and this would look good as an IMSA car, and would be the perfect body for that. Actually, all you'd have to do is eliminate those wheels and tires and lower the body a little bit and put actual racing type tires on there for like an IMSA car. Get rid of the side pipes and add some decals. And you'd have to change out the interior a little bit, eliminate some of the stuff in there, you know, just leave your seat and your dash and, you know, do something with the rest of it. And maybe get rid of that whale tail and put a regular spoiler on it. So, because it already comes with the widened fenders, so that would be one less thing to actually have to be modified on it. There's a, I did not look, but I think that there's a possibility that they actually use this kit as an IMSA racer at one point in time. I don't know. I didn't look at the history. Now with the taillights, I did those kind of, I don't know, I was experimenting a little bit. And I did them with two different black markers. The first layer was done with a black Sharpie. The second layer was done using a black marker from Temu. And that isn't like truly black. It has like a slight maroon tint to it. So together they give off the illusion of the factory blacked out taillights. You know, the ones that you find on the full-size car. Now I do like the tinted glass that comes with this kit, and the T-tops look excellent. Now after I did the window seals that you guys seen earlier in the video, I wondered, had I done them correctly, were they supposed to be black or were they supposed to be aluminum? But I did a quick Google search and I discovered that these were done in the bright aluminum and with the blacked out trim. I don't know if that was factory or if it was done as an aftermarket option by the person that owned the one-to-one car. You know, the guy that posted pictures of his car on the internet and Google picked it up. I don't know. Either way, it looks good both ways. The wheels provided in the kit look good with this body, but it would have looked better if they were equal size. Overall, this was a fun and quick build, even with its few minor flaws, and would look good, I believe anyway, in any collection. I'm not disappointed with the purchase of this kit, but I am a little bit with its final fit and finish. Well, there's another build done, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, why not click that thumbs up button? It helps the YouTube algorithm to share my content with others. If you have any questions or comments, please write those in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to respond as soon as possible. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, or you can drop me a line at scaleoutaguy@gmail.com. If you want more videos like this one, make sure to hit the subscribe button below and that little bell icon so that you'll be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching Scale Out a Guy's Workbench, and I'll see you on the next build.